So Kev, having had a few days to digest and look back on Saturday's match at Blackpool, I guess can you just tell us your thoughts on that and what you've taken from the result?
Yeah, I think we all feel that there was a bit of an opportunity missed. I think we're very aware of how good Blackpool were and are at home, and we played okay. We played quite well. We did lots of good things and we made a few mistakes, but okay and quite well doesn't beat Blackpool at Blackpool. It might be enough against some teams who aren't doing so well, but to go to Blackpool, you need to play well. You need to play really well, and you need to play really well for pretty much 90 minutes. And so we come away with stuff that we were happy with, but we also come away a little bit frustrated because even at 2-0 down, we felt like we actually had a bit of impetus, we had a bit of momentum, and never felt like the lads truly believed that they could go out there and do what they needed to do. So it is a bit of a strange one, like the reality of football is it's not just always we played really well and it's not just always we played badly. When we break games down and we look at the detail, in the moment it can seem quite different to what it is when you watch it back. An example would be like I thought we played really quite well at Reading and lost. I thought we did okay against Carlisle, but we won. I'd argue that the Reading performance as a whole was probably better in most areas. But football doesn't, you don't always get what you think you deserve. It's up to us to pick out the good bits, keep working on the stuff that we need to get better at with the players, and having a clear message. And I think the big thing is you move on to the next game. I've sat here before and I've said that, but how we prepare for Blackpool away is going to be different to what we look at when we're playing Cambridge at home. It's a different type of team. It's a different occasion. It's the next game. So it all becomes about that now.
And can you take anything from the fact that the way we were defeated was two very impressive goals from outside the area? That was ultimately what won the 3 points on the day.
Yeah, I'm always torn with things like that because they created those opportunities, albeit from distance, and they've hit the target. And the first one is just a really, really good finish. The second one, he's gone for power, and it's found its way through bodies. You can argue there's a little bit of misfortune there that we didn't manage to get a block, and that Body's probably shielded Veal from a good view to make the save. But I'm not a big believer in luck in football. I think that there's always something that you could have done better, or there's always something you did well to get what you deserve. And we needed to switch on quicker from the throw-in. If you go back 10 seconds before they score the first goal, we're coming up to half-time. We've restricted them to very little. We're in the game. We're where we really want to be. They get a throw-in and we switch off, and we allow them to throw that ball into our box, which puts us on the back foot and deepens the team. And then 2 passes later, there's somebody setting their player for a shot from 25 yards out, and it was a good set. He wasn't under pressure because of where we switched off from, and he's had a chance to look up, pick his spot, and go for it. Now he won't score many like that, but we gave them that opportunity, and that's where we need to take that ownership and take that responsibility into our own hands. If we switch on from that throw-in, that goal doesn't happen. So it's not misfortune, it's not bad luck that they've scored from distance. If we scored those goals, we'd be talking about what good goals they were. So up to us to take that disappointment, take that ownership, take that experience and learn from it.
And looking, at scenes at the end of the game, obviously, a lot of fans applauding the team, a small proportion showing, understandably their frustrations at a defeat. I mean, what's your take on kind of like the response to the performance?
I think fans are entitled to vent. They're entitled to show frustration. They're entitled to clap. They're entitled to boo. They pay good money following us around the country, and it's a passionate game. And certainly, 2 minutes after the whistle goes when you've lost, it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows. There's going to be a lot of frustration. Where you want to sit in that camp depends on, I suppose, are you glass half full, glass half empty? Our last 6-8 games, good performances, fairly good results, picking up points. Our last 20 games, as we know, probably not so much, but where do you want to draw that line? That's why my main focus and overall concentration is always on the next game. But then that's also the beauty of football. It's opinions. Those guys will go down the pub, whether they clapped us off or booed us off, and they'll have those conversations, and it's passion and it's fire, and it's what football's all about. If it was too nice and it was too cheery when you'd lost a game, what's the point? I think it's important that you have passionate fans, and sometimes they're passionate and understanding, and sometimes they're passionate and frustrated, and sometimes they're downright angry and good. That's what it's about. That's what keeps people coming back. That's what keeps people interested. It's up to us to make sure that we continue to push forward game by game, get the points that we need to get, and win over as many of those fans who have maybe in the frustrated camp as we possibly can. But it's certainly not through lack of hard work. I think Sweens went over and spoke to a few, and I think it's commendable, but it's also a little bit dangerous, because when passion is high, logic is low a lot of the time. And so going over there and trying to have a logical conversation when people are worked up and fuming and angry, fair play to him for trying it, but it's probably not the time. I do think last time I sat here with a microphone, I talked about us being more open and more transparent with the fan base, and maybe having some kind of forums where we can get the biggest critics to come along and sit down and ask a few questions face to face, so we can kind of explain where we are, explain what we're trying. And because of the nature of this football club, anything that we can do that involves the fan base is a good thing. It's important they know what we're doing. It's important they know why we're trying things. It's important that they understand some of the limitations that we have, but also the beauty of this football club and the ownership model, the people behind the scenes. It's an incredible place to work, an incredible thing to be a part of. And it's all part and parcel of the game.
And now we're preparing to return home to face Cambridge on Saturday, a place where we're unbeaten in our last 3, 2 wins and a draw, and some great performances, some great scenes at the end of the game. I guess, how do we prepare for Saturday?
Yeah, we prepare. We know what's coming. We played Cambridge not long ago. They're very competitive. They're very physical. They've got some good players. We know what we need to do to combat that, and we know what our strengths are to try and get the better of them. You've spoken about the scenes after Blackpool. You now speak about the scenes after the recent home games. That's two sides of the same coin. That's why we have to, for me, always go over and show our appreciation, even if you're taking some boos and you're taking some abuse. I don't think you can in good conscience go and take claps and cheers if you're not willing to take the other side of it. And again, beauty of football. It's hard, it's difficult, especially for young players that haven't experienced it before. It's difficult for us as people that have been around the game a little while. If you've had a career in football, you've been booed before. It's very unlikely that you haven't. It's a horrible thing. There's not many people who go to work, have a bad day at the office and walk out to their office mates booing them. And it's a very difficult thing to articulate. But at the same time, it's amazing when you win. It's amazing when they're behind you. It's amazing going over and clapping the fans at the stadium. And so I think you have to take both. I think that's, again, it's part of the game. And it keeps us excited. It keeps us coming back for more. It keeps us wanting it. And it's the beauty of it.
When you put it into perspective, we've got 20 games left, 60 points to play for, so it's very much a case of, we're looking up the table going forward.
Yeah, I'll always go back to the next game. I think it's really important that the coaches, the players, they stay focused on what they can control, and that is Cambridge on Saturday and the preparation for it. But yeah, there's a lot of football to be played. The league is exceptionally tight. We've just got to make sure that we look after our side of that. I'm sure it'll be a good crowd again on Saturday. We know it's going to be a competitive game. We can talk about 20 games once we've got that one out of the way and see where we sit.
Thank you very much, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.